I'd really like to regrow some hair on my temples before I go bald. And to do so, I'm going to be experimenting with dermarolling and peppermint oil. My name is Daniel, and like a lot of guys, I've started to notice that my hairline is receding back a lot further than I like. So while this isn't as bad as some guys' receding hairlines, I'd like to see if there's something I can do about it before it's too late. After all, my grandfather, my dad, and my uncle have all gone bald here at the top of their head. My grandfather and my uncle only have a band of hair around here, and that's definitely something I'd like to avoid. That's why I'd wanted to try something that's both research-backed and accessible and affordable, to see if there's something that I can do to not only stop this receding hairline, but also possibly get some of the regrowth. So here's what I'm going to be doing over the next 60 days. Every evening, I'm going to be applying peppermint oil that's diluted in this coconut oil at 3%. That's because peppermint oil on its own can be quite harsh. And then once a week, I'm going to be using a 1mm dermaroller to microneedle my scalp. I'm also going to be keeping a log of everything I do over these days and the experiences that I'm having as I do that, to not only record the consistency, but also to have a more accurate reflection at the end of the 60 days. If you're planning on trying this treatment yourself, I was warned to give 24 hours between microneedling and applying the peppermint oil. Not only would that burn so much, but waiting those 24 hours is going to avoid irritation and infections in the little holes that have come from microneedling. Because I'm going to be applying the solution every night, I don't want to have to mix it every time I do so. So I'm going to pre-mix it to make that process so much easier, and it's going to also increase that likelihood that I'm actually going to stick through and be consistent. So for a 3% concentration, the general rule of thumb is that you want to put 9 drops of peppermint essential oil per 1 tablespoon or 15 ml of the carrier oil. Never apply undiluted peppermint oil because it will irritate your skin like crazy. I mean, if I just take a sniff of this thing, it's insanely strong. So what I want to do here is I'm going to be doing, this bottle here is 30 mils, so that's 2 tablespoons. So I need to put 18 drops in. So I'm going to drop it in and count as I go. Now that I have those 18 drops of peppermint oil in, I'm going to put my carrier oil. So I've chosen to use coconut oil. I just got this from my local pharmacy. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dilute that peppermint essential oil by pouring this coconut oil in. So I'm in a warmer climate and my coconut oil is pretty liquid. If you're in a colder environment, you'll find that the coconut oil goes hard. In that case, all you got to do is put the bottle in warm water for about 5 minutes and it'll loosen up and melt, and then you can do this process. So I'm just going to pour this carrier oil in, the coconut oil. Try to be careful and not spill it everywhere. And then that there is my 3% concentration. Now what I want to do is just want to shake this, get it all spread through. Obviously over time this will naturally spread through. I wanted to mention that this isn't essential, but if you do have the dropper, it's going to make application of the oil so much easier, because you can take it out and then you can drop it onto your scalp like that. It's going to be so much easier to apply, but of course you could do this with a syringe as well. Okay, we've mixed the peppermint oil and the carrier oil, and we have our nice dilution here that we're going to be using. As I was doing this, I rubbed my nose and I had a bit of peppermint oil and coconut oil in my hands, and that is really opening up my nostrils. I'm really getting a lot of air through there. I'm feeling a tingling sensation, which is a bit of a hint as to why this is going to work, but we'll talk about that in a second. So now the next part of this treatment is microneedling. Now I've gone with a derma roller. It's a cheaper alternative to a derma pin, and it's a lot easier than a derma stamp. So what a derma roller is, it's a barrel with some spikes on, and what that does is it makes little micro punctures in your scalp. I want to make sure that this is disinfected. So I'm going to be using surgical grade isopropyl alcohol or rubbing alcohol. Now the minimum percentage that you want to go for is 70%. I'm going with 91% because I don't want to be taking any chances. So to disinfect the derma roller, you're just going to soak it in this alcohol. So I also got this from a local pharmacy, and to disinfect the derma roller, all you got to do is pour a bit of this alcohol into a container. I'm using this jar from my kitchen, and I pour enough there to make sure that the derma roller can be submerged. I'm just going to put that in carefully, making sure not to bend the needles as I place it into the alcohol. But there, you want to put it in and you can let that disinfect for like 5 minutes. So there it is. We want to make sure that the whole barrel is submerged in that alcohol, and you want to leave this in for 5 minutes. Now you want to do this before and after you microneedle. Now that sounds maybe a bit tedious, but you're only doing this once a week, and it definitely outweighs having an infection in your scalp. Okay, now that we've got what we need, let's do it for 60 days. Okay, so we're kicking off the treatment. This is day 1, and I'm going to be doing microneedling. I had this derma roller soaking in the rubbing alcohol, so it should be disinfected by now. I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling quite nervous. So what you need to do the derma rolling is you want to move away the hair from the area that you want to roll. So in my case, it's this area over here, and I want to restore there. And you're going to take the derma roller, you're going to do 5 passes in one direction. Then you're going to go perpendicular to that, and you're going to do 4 to 6 passes in that direction. I'm going to be doing 5, so that's between 4 and 6. So you're going to go horizontally, and then you're going to go vertically in the same area. I'm going to be doing that, but on this side and this side. So it's on that section there, so we'll get a bit forward. So stings a bit. Okay. Then I'm going to go here now vertically over that same area. Okay, that's not comfortable. I'm feeling a little bit nauseous. I don't know if it's the pain or the sound of the popping as it's going through there. But I'm just going to rinse this off, and we're going to do the other side. It's not comfortable. Okay, so now we got to do the vertical area now. So same area that I've rolled before, just going up and down. Well, not up and down, but vertically perpendicular to the other direction. So I'm pressing quite firm here. You can feel it going into the skin and popping. Is quite uncomfortable. Okay, so that's the derma rolling done. So let's just neaten up my hair here. I'll get a close-up shot of this now, but again, really important, you want to put that back in the alcohol after you've done this. And again, you can leave this soaking for at least 5 minutes. You just want to make sure that this gets disinfected, that the next time you're rolling, you're not putting back the stuff that you derma rolled now, and that'll avoid irritation and infections later on. You can see there's a little bit of redness, little drops of blood on the holes where I've microneedled. That's totally normal. Okay, so it's time to apply the oil to my hairline. But you can see on a cold day, remember I said I used coconut oil. The coconut oil is kind of like solidified. You can see if I turn it over sideways, it's staying put. So what I do then is I just get some hot water from the kettle and I pop it in a little mug. And then I just pop the oil in there. Just leave it in some hot water there, and then it melts the oil. Doesn't take too long. You can also speed it along by using the pipette, squeezing the pipette. Okay, that's looking good. It's all liquid again, so you can see if I move this around, swirl it. I'm going to squeeze some into the pipette, open it up, clear the hairline, and then just tilt my head back a bit, and then just put 3 drops, and then put that back in there. And then I'll just rub that in a bit, just make sure it sticks. Then roll down my head, put in another 2 drops, put that in there, and then just to save time, do the same thing here. Just put on a timer for 5 minutes. Hey Google, start a 5-minute timer.
A 5-minute timer has been started.
And then I just massage that in, get some good blood flow going. I just massage it in, making sure to go right to the edges of where the hair loss is. Go along the hairline there while I'm at it. Cool, and that's that. Time is done, and that's how you do it. Okay, I'm about halfway through my experiment now, and I'm back with an update. There were a couple of things I expected to be bad that weren't as bad, and there's one thing I didn't anticipate. So let's start with the things that I thought would be worse that aren't. So the first problem I was anticipating was the redness. After derma rolling on that first day, my scalp was pretty red and there was some bleeding. I was worried that when I headed out to work or to the shops, I was going to be having this shining red forehead. Now that wasn't the case. By the next day, you couldn't see that I had derma rolled at all. The second thing I was worried about was sweat irritation. So I'm a really active guy. I play a lot of sport, I go to gym. I was worried that after derma rolling, the sweat was going to go into those micro injuries and cause real irritation. But that just wasn't the case. There were some instances where I had derma rolled and played sport within an hour or 2 straight afterwards, and I didn't really notice any difference. Every time I have derma rolled, I have noticed a bit of a tingling sensation, maybe a little bit of stinging every now and then, and whether I played sport or didn't, that sensation was the same. So, in my experience, sweat didn't cause any other discomfort. And then lastly, I was hesitant to start this challenge because I thought it was going to be a pain to to apply this oil to my forehead every evening. But it's actually slotted perfectly into my bedtime routine and hasn't really taken up much brain space. I have the oil near my bed, and as I get into bed, I put the drops on and I massage it for 5 minutes, and it's actually been a nice marker for my body that, hey, it's time to sleep. But there is something that has been quite irritating that I didn't quite think about at the start of this experiment. Every evening, I've been applying oil to my forehead. This is right up here by my fringe and this frontal hair, which is what people see every day. Now, of course, if you're applying oil to your hair looks oily, which has meant that I've had to wash my hair about 2 to 3 times more than I normally would have. Now for me, this is a relatively big deal because I actually prefer not to wash my hair too often. I want to keep those natural oils in there, and I found the more I wash my hair, the oilier it gets and the harder it is to maintain. But if this treatment really is going to restore my frontal hairline, then that's a relatively small price to pay to fight going bald. So that's been my experience so far. But why did I choose peppermint oil and microneedling? Because this wasn't a random pairing. Let me explain how I'm expecting this combination to work. When you apply peppermint oil to your scalp, it increases something called IGF-1, a signaling protein that plays a key role in pushing hair follicles into the active growth phase. You can think of it like a wake-up call for your follicles that have slowed down or gone dormant. There's a study where 3% topical peppermint oil was compared directly against minoxidil. After 4 weeks, the group that used the peppermint oil actually had greater hair coverage, more follicles, and deeper follicle depth than the minoxidil group. The concentration I'm using in this experiment matches that study exactly. Now, there is a slight caveat to that because that study was done on mice. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend like the results are guaranteed, because as we know, results from animal-based testing don't always translate directly to the same results in humans. But this and other studies have shown that this mechanism is real, and it was a strong enough foundation for me to test. And now the second part of this pairing is microneedling with a dermaroller. When you run a dermaroller across your scalp, you're creating a bunch of tiny micro injuries in the skin. Now that might sound counterintuitive. Why would damaging your scalp help your hair? But your body's response to those micro injuries is the whole point. Microneedling triggers a wound healing response that activates some of the same biological pathways that drive hair growth, signaling your follicles to shift into a more active state and improving blood flow to the area at the same time. Studies combining microneedling with topical treatments have consistently shown better results than just using the topical treatment alone. In one trial, the microneedling group saw roughly 4 times the hair count increase compared to the group using a topical treatment by itself. So that's how the 2 individual parts of the treatment work, but why am I combining them? The main reason to combine them is simple. Microneedling creates a whole bunch of microchannels into the skin. This dramatically increases how much of the peppermint oil actually gets absorbed into the scalp. Instead of just sitting on the surface, it's getting delivered directly to where the follicles are. On top of that, the microneedling is activating hair growth pathways in its own right. So you're getting 2 growth signals at once, not just one delivered more efficiently. So that's been my experience so far and why I'm using peppermint oil and microneedling. I'm going to keep microneedling and applying the peppermint oil to my head, and I'll see you in another 30 days. Okay, we're 60 days in and I've reached the end of my experiment, so it's time to review. I recorded the sessions on my phone, so every night when I would put oil on or when I did a dermarolling session, I just logged it here, and I've got that log here on my laptop. So there were 8 microneedling sessions across the 60 days, which means that there were supposed to be 52 oiling sessions. There were 4 nights in the process where I just clean forgot to apply the oil, so I have 48 out of the 52 oiling sessions completed. The experience was more pleasant than I expected. I thought it was going to be difficult to stay consistent, but applying the oil just before I went to bed made it really easy. So if you'd like to do this, a pro tip is to incorporate this into a nighttime routine and keep the oil by your bed, because then it's much easier to remember. The most cumbersome part of the experience was definitely the dermarolling, but it wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. The process of disinfecting, rolling, and then disinfecting again probably took about 15 minutes, which is actually not that much time. What I found made this process easier was I had everything that I needed in a small bag, so when I needed to dermaroll, I would just take the bag out, get the dermaroller, take out my little jar, pour my isopropyl alcohol inside, and then leave it in there to disinfect for 5 minutes. When my timer rang, I just go to the bathroom, do the rolling, and pop it back into that jar, and that made the process really easy. The experience of microneedling itself was a bit painful and tingly in the beginning, but as time went on, I got more and more used to it. I found after dermarolling there was a bit of bleeding on my scalp and it tingled for probably the next 6 hours, but after that I'd promptly forget that I had even dermarolled. The peppermint oil itself smells really nice, and massaging it into my scalp every evening was actually really relaxing. Overall, I didn't experience any negative side effects. The only downside, like I mentioned earlier, was having an oily fringe all the time. But there does seem to be some new hairs growing here in this receding hairline, and I take an oily fringe any day over balding like my uncle and grandfather did. So here's what my hair looked like before, and here's what it's looking like now. Now, I know you might say, hey, there's only a few hairs growing there. But from what I understand, 60 days is very short in the hair growth cycle. So if I'm seeing these results after 60 days, I have hope that there's going to be more hair growing over time. I'm definitely going to keep dermarolling and applying the peppermint oil. It's pretty easy to do, and I think the results are worth it. But what do you think? Do you think the results warrant the effort necessary, or am I totally wasting my time? Here's my honest take. All I've been doing is dermarolling and applying an essential oil to my scalp. I haven't had to take any drugs that have negative side effects, so I've avoided all of those downsides. On top of that, this is so much cheaper than paying those recurring subscriptions on things like minoxidil or finasteride. I'm going to keep going with this treatment in hopes that I can restore the frontal hairline of my youth. If you're still here, thanks for watching till the end. Let me know down in the comments if you'd like a longer term update from me, maybe a 3-month or 1-year update. Thanks for watching, and if you're keen, maybe I'll see you in a future update.